Hello, I'm Evan from Reddit Stories, and in this video we are reading Managers of Reddit. What is a Karen experience like? What was your worst experience? Please consider subscribing if you like the video. I loved Karens when I was managing. Being able to say I am the manager followed soon by sorry, that's company policy always results in a flustered Karen leaving in a huff and a much relieved crew. Yep. Then I would get, well, give me your boss's cell number. Absolutely not. There's no way in hell I'm giving out his number. You can come in tomorrow when he's here or call us. I'll give them the corporate number. Corporate doesn't give a it about Karen complaints. And if they do follow up, I explain the situation. Give them the corporate number of your competitor. How delightfully evil. Happened before I became a manager, but once while I was serving at Steak and Shake, customer had a cup in for a burger, fries and a shake for $XXX. Can't remember the price anymore. Anyway, on the cup it specifically stated that cheese on the burger was 39 cents upcharge, although it did have a picture of a burger with cheese on it. Lady threw a fit in the dining room that I was treating her unfairly, it was false advertising, etc. etc. I told her I agree it's false advertising with the picture, but the text specifically states the upcharge and unfortunately I can't do anything about it. The lady at the next table overheard everything and literally got up and put 50 cents on the table to cover it and said something to the effect of I'll pay for your damn cheese if you just shut up. This pissed the cheese lady off even more. My manager obviously sensed the issue and came out, took the cheese upcharge of the bill. Like what the frick, Karen? Love how the other lady, I think I'll call her Lauren, is like the anti-Karen. She probably has daughters. Lauren. The anti-Karen. I like it. Lauren is the new anti-Karen of Reddit and it will forever be that way. I was the only person on shift, which made me the de facto manager. 5 minutes before closing, a woman comes in and is so angry that we don't have any decaf. She demands to speak to the manager. I tell her that's me, because I'm the only one here, and the coffee pots are cleaned for the night, because it's 5 minutes to close. No, I'm sorry, I can't make another pot just for her. There's another place around the corner. She screams at me, tells me she's going to find a rail manager and get my ass fired, throws half a cup of cappuccino machine sludge at me, and starts to look like she's gonna jump the counter. I'm holding a hammer under the counter thinking don't do it, don't do it. I pick up the phone like I'm going to call the cops. She leaves. I lock the door. She comes back and runs fast first into the glass door. Like a bird. Least she is self-aware enough to know she needs decaf and nothing harder, I guess. You made me laugh. Did she give herself brain damage? Fall down? Make eye contact? That's alpha as frick. We need the thrilling conclusion to this saga. She fell. At that point I thought okay, I may be looking at a middle-class white lady's first time trying serious drugs, and I did regretfully have to call the cops to get her so that I could go home without her trying to eat my face or something. She screamed and tore at me the whole time I waited for them. The staff did not know it at the time, but our ketchup dispenser was empty. A boy, aged 10ish, was just smashing down on the handle trying to get ketchup, but none was being dispensed. A staff member noticed the kid smashing the ketchup dispenser, so I went out to see what was going on. Oh, the ketchup is empty. I'll get a new bag from the kitchen. Give me 2 minutes and I'll be right back with some new ketchup. I remove the empty container, take it back to the kitchen, clean the dispenser and place in a new bag. Take it out to the condiment stand and get met by a Karen. K, why did you take the ketchup away from my son? Me, the ketchup was empty, so I replaced the bag. K, why did you take the ketchup away? Go get your manager. Me, okay. 1 minute. I walk about 2 meters, turn around, and introduce myself as the manager. K, why did you take the ketchup away from my son? Me, ma'am, please lower your voice. The ketchup was empty. I explained to your son that I needed to take it back to the kitchen to refill it. K, no you didn't. I was standing here the whole time. You took the ketchup away from my son. Me, ma'am, please lower your voice. You were not with your son. He was here alone, trying to get ketchup, which was empty. K, don't you tell me what to do. Do you know WHO you're dealing with? Me, nope. Ma'am, please get your belongings and leave this establishment. Cue the screaming and yelling. K, I will not leave this establishment. I am going to burn this place down. Other patrons are visibly upset with what they're witnessing. Police are called. Karen gives a statement. Police question me. I give a statement. Karen told the police that I struck her son, pushed him out of the way, and moved the ketchup to an area in which her son couldn't get access to the ketchup. I disputed the claim and offered to provide video evidence, with sound, of what actually happened. Police watch the video once, thank me, and walk out to the eating area. Officer, ma'am, does your son has someone who can look after him? K, his father is at work right now. Officer, okay, you're being placed under arrest for making threats and a false police report. More yelling, threats, and now tears. In the end, she was charged with making the false police report, but not the threats, and received a lifetime ban from not just our restaurant, but the entire mall our restaurant was located in. I felt kinda bad. Not for the Karen, but for her son. He has to live with that, damn man. Hope your restaurant is still in fine business. Bestest of the best interactions I ever had. Karen griped about not wanting to pay the price for the services performed on her computer, which was exactly the price quoted when she dropped it off and which she had signed for. She demanded to speak to the service manager. I called him from the back. Service manager listened to her spiel as to how she should get a lower price. Because, irrelevant, he brained reason. Service manager made eye contact with me over her shoulder. I did not react. He said no, price quoted was the price that would be charged. She said that was unacceptable, and she would be complaining to the owner, who was a good friend. Service manager observed that he was evidently not that good a friend, since that he, me, was the person she was originally speaking with when she asked for the service manager. Her face was glorious, and made the whole thing worthwhile. I love when people claim to know the owner and it should be enough. For starters, if you were so close with the owner, just call them. Have them call the store and I'd be happy to comply. And I'm sure they'd be happy that I'm not giving away things to anyone claiming to know them. The beat for me was a man talking about how he knew Joe. Joe is his friend and we should respect that, and how cool Joe would be upset. Not knowing anyone named Joe, I didn't see how it was relevant. How do you not know the CEO? The customer demanded. Oh, you mean the guy in line behind you, not at all named Joe, left without any of his stuff. Since that he, me, boy, that confused me. But I think I know what you mean, lol. Op is the owner. Knight's mill entrepreneur. Oh hell yeah, buckle up. I worked as a manager at a chain BBQ restaurant. We will call it Popular Charlie's. There was this lady who we called Nacho Lady. I'll get into why. She was that kindy overweight, holistic living, anti-vax, essential oil, military wife. My 2-year-old daughter who I talk to like a coherent adult is going to change the world type lady. With all the Karen aesthetics to match. We all dreaded her when she came in. We call her Nacho Lady, because whenever she comes by, she orders our nachos at our takeout area. No big deal, but she would want everything on the side. Which again, no big deal in most situations, because I understand that nachos get soggy really, especially to go. But what some people don't understand is seeing the actual proportions for everything. 2 ounces of anything really isn't that much. That goes for the cheese, chile, beans, nacho sauce, all the works. Even though it is all proportioned equally, the customer doesn't like what they see, and that's where the backlash happened with Nacho Lady and the Karen moment starts happening. She didn't like the actual proportions and demanded more, but refused to pay for it. Our takeout specialists were good at standing up for themselves and the rules. Of course she didn't accept it, so she had to speak to a manager, myself or 2 others depending on the day. She would also order 2 kids' meals, pork sandwiches and fries. Again, no big deal, but she was very particular about this one as well. The pork had to be dry, no BBQ sauce, in a separate container. Kids' buns toasted, which we don't usually do. The fries had to be dropped as soon as she walks in the door so they are crispy and fresh for when she takes them all the way home. Because of her extreme specifications, it got to the point where only a manager was allowed to take her order and only a manager could review the order with her. This was always the most nerve-wracking part, because she would sit down at our waiting table in the takeout area and open every single box and inspect everything, which we would typically do in the first place. But the way she went about was very, Karen. This is when all the issues would happen. Fries were never hot and fresh and crispy enough, sent back to get new ones. Not enough of the portioned pork for the kids' sandwich, demanded more. Not enough cheese sauce and shredded cheese, demanded more. Not enough tortilla chips, you know the rest. The list goes on. And to top it all off, she somehow got a hold of a ton of free kids meal coupons that were blank, meaning no manager signature, dates, or any sort of validation that she got it legit. A coupon is no big deal, but a typical coupon can only be used one at a time with one transaction. But a Karen being a Karen, she demanded we used 2 out of giant stack so she gets her kids' meals for free. This got to the point where things had to be ran by the grams, even if it means calling him on his day off. He was a bit of a bitch and always allowed it, but she started costing us money. It wasn't feasible for her to keep coming back and having her as a customer, because 9.5 out of 10, we would end up having to send stuff back to the kitchen which would get wasted. My other manager, Billy Joe, was a fierce bitch that never let anyone walk over her. She was awesome. She finally stepped up and made a call over the GM's order and 86'd her. When that moment came, we all huddled in the office and watched the security cameras as Billy Joe ripped her a new one. That was an unforgettable day. I left and got out of the restaurant industry and management because of how toxic that field can be, but I do love that I have a Karen story. 86 Karen, best ending ever. Don't forget to subscribe, or I'll come and steal your pet. Bye.